So let's talk about differentiation now. What's that mean, and really why should advisors care? Is saying we're fiduciaries enough? What's your feeling?
I think this is a challenging landscape, and one that ironically will probably be the worst for the independent RIA community, that for a number of years now has heavily marketed themselves as, we're the fiduciaries, we operate on a less conflicted model because we don't have the commission-based business. And I've written in Orange for years now that if you're an RIA, marketing yourself as a fiduciary, like kind of leading with that as your differentiator, is a really bad marketing strategy. Not that it's bad to be a fiduciary. I think it's a very good thing to be a fiduciary, but it's not a good marketing strategy. And then the reason is exactly what we're now seeing play out, which is if your marketing strategy was I'm a fiduciary, your entire marketing strategy is at risk to regulation, making everybody fiduciaries, and then you're not different anymore. It's not a differentiator. Once the playing field gets leveled and everybody's subject to a fiduciary duty, being a fiduciary is not a differentiator anymore. And literally now the environment that we're seeing forming today is if you're a fiduciary and you market that you're a fiduciary, you are marketing head to head with Vanguard Advisor Services, Schwab Intelligent Advisory, and Merrill Lynch, all of whom are holding out as direct-to-consumer fiduciaries that offer comprehensive financial planning advice using CFPs. And that's a huge challenge for a lot of the advisor landscape that has marketed and differentiated themselves as I'm a CFP and I have years of experience and I provide good customer service for my clients, and we provide individualized, personalized financial planning based on your needs and goals. And all of those things that that we've talked about as our differentiators are just vanishing as our differentiators. FPA did a study last year that found that 72% of advisors differentiate on client service. You think about that for a moment. 72% of advisors say their service is above average. Kind of think about that for a moment. That doesn't work, right? And the same problem is going to happen now with, well, no, we're fiduciaries with good service. Well, no, we're fiduciaries with good service, and we have CFPs and credentials and years of experience. And we keep piling on these differentiators that put us in the exact same bucket as everybody else that's out there. And I think that's one of the driving reasons why, when we look at some of the industry benchmarking studies over the past year or two, the average organic growth rate of advisory firms. So after you strip out markets and you just get to like true net flows of dollars and clients coming into your business and leaving your business, the organic growth rate of the entire independent advisory community in the aggregate is declining and has been for the past 2 years. And I think the problem that we've all gotten ourselves into is we're one giant, the independent advisory community has made itself into one giant undifferentiated blob of advisory firms that consumers can't tell apart and distinguish from each other or what their value proposition is. And what we know from the market is anytime consumers get down to a point where they're trying to buy an intangible service where you can't really try it out beforehand, you won't really know until after you've been through it whether it's any good, and you're really not sure whether you're going to buy from a good provider or not because there's no way to tell, we fall back on other intangibles we can evaluate. And the primary one is brands. To what extent are we familiar with and trust the brand? And so that's a huge disadvantage to basically any firm that doesn't have $1 trillion under management, because the few firms that do have $1 trillion under management can outmarket the rest of everybody else combined. And now we're starting to see that with Merrill taking out, I forget, it was either a Wall Street Journal or New York Times full page ad to say we're fiduciary advisors now moving forward under DOL fiduciary. And companies like Vanguard and Schwab can run $100 million marketing campaigns around their CFP advisory services. The rest of the group just gets out-resourced by either differentiating on fiduciary or differentiating on these other things that everybody else differentiates on, like service and experience and credentials and personal financial planning. There was a time in the past when those were legitimate differentiators, but that time is gone now.